Hi, welcome to another edition of Videoplex. My name is Sammy. I'm the host, the creator of Sammy Videoplex and Sammy Videoplex Audio. You can view Sammy Videoplex Audio where major podcasters' audios is heard. And I want to thank Public Radio for all their support with Sammy Videoplex Audio. And you can also view Sammy Videoplex right here on YouTube and where most major videos is uploaded. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, liking, TikTok, and I think I named everyone. I am now on Patreon. You can make donations to Sammy Videoplex and Sammy Videoplex Audio to keep this YouTube channel and my audio podcast going. And don't stop there. There's several other podcasters that you can support on Patreon for the price of your coffee for 1 week to keep these YouTube channels and audio podcasts going. We do the work that journalists do, but we go beyond. We don't earn a journalist salary. Most of us, like myself, have careers outside of podcasting, but we give you more than what the regular journalists give you. Who watch CNN? Who watch Fox News? Who care about MSNBC? The big three news is Newsmax, One American News, the Bloomington Report, the BBC. Those are the news channels that do give you decent news. If you want to go online, CBSN News. They have a few reporters there that do a very decent job. But CNN, Fox, MSNBC, who care about those big $1 million contracts they gave those reporters? I wouldn't pay them more than $5 an hour to do what they do. Because the average one of them, you don't know who they slept with to get their job or who they was in with to get their job. Podcast hosts work very hard. I have a friend who's a podcast host also, and she was saying her podcast last week. I was recognized in the store here in Florida, and people recognized me for my podcast. So they thought I had a whole lot of money because I'm a podcast host, and I'm also on Grasshopper. She was saying a site that I don't think I'm on. I don't believe I am on Grasshopper. I never visited that site before. And she said, well, people have podcast creators misunderstood. They assume all podcast creators is living very comfortable. And I know podcast creators that have a lot more subscribers than what I have that is not doing half as good as I am because I have a career outside of podcasting. I was a student at one time, class of 2002, from the University of Phoenix, Southfield, Michigan campus. I studied business administration, and I want to also, when I finish my business administration studies, study global business. That's the good thing about the human mind. You can learn anything you set your heart out and desire. The upcoming UFO report to Congress creating lots of buzz. This is from ABC News, the United States. Washington. Later this month, U.S. intelligence agency will present to Congress a highly appreciated unclassified report about what they know about UFOs, as the Pentagon now calls them unexplained aerial phenomena, UAPs. However, the jury is still out on whether the report will contain the answers that UFOs enthusiasts are looking for. That recent military encounters with unexplained aerial phenomena may be proof of contact with extraterrestrial life. The preparation of the report marks a milestone, as interest in UFOs have taken off in recent years, following the U.S. Navy release of once classified videos of close encounters that fighter pilots had in 2004 and 10 years later in 2014 with unexplained aerial phenomena. The videos raised interest levels not only with UFOs enthusiasts, but also among members of Congress to learn if UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, are captured in videos represent advanced technology threats from foreign arrivals. The state of Florida in the United States, Senator Marco Rubio, who was once a president candidate, then chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, succeeded in including language in Intelligence Authorities Act late in 2020 that requires the intelligence community to prepare for the committee to detail unclassified reports on aerial phenomena. A spokesperson for Rubio told ABC News America that the report is due to be submitted to Congress on the 29th day of June of the year 2021, which is the date that marks the 180-day deadline required by the legislation when it went into effect on the 1st of January of 2021. I believe 2021. Men's and women's we have entrusted with defense and defending our countries are reported encounters with unidentified aircrafts with superior capabilities, Marco Rubio said in a statement provided to ABC News. We cannot allow the segment of UFOs to keep us from seriously investigating this. The forthcoming report is one step in that process, but it will not be the last. The report is being prepared by the Office of Director of National Intelligence and the UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenas Task Force, an organization stood up by the Pentagon last September to look at the U.S. military's encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena. More Pentagon task force will investigate UFOs incidents. We are providing content and information that we have on these phenomena, and our focus is on supporting the DNI's efforts to produce this report. John Kirby, the Pentagon's top spokesman, told reporters on Tuesday. Though it would be an unclassified report, it is possible that its contents will not satisfy UFO enthusiasts. To learn if the encounters are contacts with extraterrestrial simply because it will be an intelligence report. The protection of meteorologists is an important part of how the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenas Task Force operate, a Pentagon official told ABC News. This is an intelligence-driven effort, and in intelligence matters, you will always try to protect the sources and methods used in order to prevent potential advisories from getting an idea of how we learn things. And the report will rely on more than just eyewitness recollections of their encounters. It will be focused on data collected by highly sensitive sensors used by U.S. military detectors advisories. This is a data-driven examination of aerial phenomena, the Pentagon official told ABC News America. The more detailed data we have, the better we are able to identify these unidentified aerial phenomena. For scientists, the report's focus on data is key to helping determine what is happening in the videos. So if you can figure out where they are in 3D space and figure out where they are, how they are maneuvering, and if you can figure out their mass and figure out the focus that are involved, then that can give you some hints at the technology that they are looking at. Whether the report is able to offer up those answers remain to be seen. But for some UFO enthusiasts, what matters most is that the report is reality. I think it's a huge step forward to the general confirmation of the existence of these physical machines that do fly with impurity, with our restricted airspace. This is not a subject of question. This is not a subject of doubt. Our public have been told and proof have been given. And that's not coming just from people like me. That's coming from our own governments. If it's going farther, I'm happy. I'm a very happy camper. But I think it's going to be a preliminary confirmation to the American global public about UFOs presentations on planet Earth. And I feel like this subject will require more investigation and more transparency. Why all of a sudden is our country, the United States of America, wanting to give us information about UFOs? When they always told us UFOs, aerial phenomena is a new name, or unidentified aerial phenomena don't exist. What people were seeing way back in the older days was Earth lights, planets out of space shining and creating lights. And no one knew what there was. They saw these spectacular lights in the sky, fire in the sky, and they named them UFOs. Later on, they were just weather balloons. Now, all of a sudden, in 2021, the 21st century, following one of the most deadly pandemics in this world history, in our lifetime, this generation lifetime, the government of the United States of America want to investigate what is people seeing all of a sudden. I say, A, do they want to come, how can I use this word? Do they want to just be faithful to the public of the United States and the world, that we're not alone, that there is life in other planets, there's life in the universe, our universe is beyond ours? Space is flat. We don't know how far space spans. This is one universe. We don't know how many other universes there are out there. We don't know where wormholes are located. We really don't know how the speed of light travel. It can be some kind of wormhole that makes the speed of light all that much faster that we haven't figured out yet. Before starting this podcast, I said 20 years ago, no one thought about the stout plane. But 20 years later, we thought about the stout plane. If there's an advanced civilization out there, more advanced than us, of course they thought about things we have not even thought of could exist, that can be possible. Why is the government trying so hard with these unidentified aerial phenomena? Do they want to prove to people this is what you've been seeing? All this time we've been reporting that there's lights in the sky. My sightings here, Sammy James Williams Jr. in Ohio, on 2 occasions of something I couldn't explain. My cameras would even photograph. It was something that told me you cannot photograph this. I still want someone to tell me. What can tell me I cannot photograph it? Okay, just say, Sammy, you saw Jupiter. The radius of Jupiter in the middle of the night, early morning hours. But why would that planet tell me you cannot photograph this? Why would it tell me you cannot photograph this? What technology is there that can block my cameras and my recorders from videoing? Why is the government trying so hard to convince us they're running an investigation? Is this the same government of the United States in the world that always had UFO reports and UFO classified files and took black markers and blackened things out? Why now they want the people of this planet Earth to know we might not be alone? You see how ignorant we were during the pandemic of 2020, the coronavirus that is still here, but they pulling wools over our eyes saying, no, the coronavirus is not here. It's here, but it's in India. That's still getting hit hard in certain parts of the world. But here in North America, it's nowhere here. Mask off if you have both your coronavirus vaccine shots like I have, but I still wear my mask in public, and I sure do wear my mask at work. I was wearing a mask for a year now. Old habits are hard to break. Maybe one day I will forget to put it on. I get used to not wearing it again. But why is the United States government trying so hard to work with the people, to show people the evidence that we have came up with? I heard people say one day the world government, not just the United States government, because you have to remember, people in America, they feel they're better than everybody else when they're not. This little bitty country is only 4% of the world. And why do the rest of the world let them dictate to them? I don't know why. I do not know why they would let some piece of the world so small dictate to something so big. But I keep hearing that one day the world government will make a invasion of aliens happen that scare people to submitting to the government's leadership in that new world order type fashion. But it will not be a real alien invasion. It will be the world governments scaring people that we are being invaded through television, through media, through entertainment, through internet, I should have said. We have history books in our pockets, in our purse, in our hands. We call cell phones and tablets. With those cell phones and tablets, we can learn anything we want to learn about history. Do I believe this report that Senator Marco Rubio, former president candidate here in the United States, is working on is going to lead us facts or fiction? Is there aerial phenomena or not? But we had two presidents that I know of. Jimmy Carter, who's still alive. He's still with us, thank God. He's in his mid-90s now, late 90s. And the late Ronald Reagan. And they both said they seen something they cannot explain. And they both was told to keep their mouth quiet. And I believe someone that flies as much as the presidents and politicians know when they're seeing something they never seen before. Do I believe the United States of America is going to be truthful with the people, what they find? No. They will tell you what they want you to know. Do I believe the United States of American government and the world government have a right to tell us that in locations like Area 51, that's throughout the world, because every major country, Russia, China, Canada, the major countries, they all have their own version of Area 51s. Secret military locations. Do I think they had a right, the governments had a right to tell the people what they're really working on? I say no. Because the average person find out that we're not alone and we have been visited by aliens. Everyone want to be a hero. And we had too many heroes making fools of themselves during the coronavirus. We're not invincible. None of us are invincible. And I still think seeing how ignorant people are in public, I think that the United States and the world government have all the right to cover up anything they feel necessary. I was contacted by YouTube, Google's YouTube, and it's told me another one of my videos was taken down. I think it was video 465 or 464 for the contents and the copyright infringements. What a funny word I can't say. And they gave me a warning that I have 1 point on me now. If I continue my behavior, they will be forced to cancel to me Videoplex on this YouTube network. YouTube, Videoplex. Years ago, there was writers, creators, directors, producers that came up with ideas of the outer limit, Twilight Zone. Years ago, people was told what to say and what not to say. I think that's YouTube, Google way of telling me we visit the Videoplex zone. My name is Sammy. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please support my Sammy Videoplex audio. Please share my videos with your social media friends and your real life friends. I'll see you soon in the Videoplex zone. Virginia and Papa.